In the quiet shadows of Port Charles, where secrets never stay buried and love is always tested, one man stands at the edge of everything he's ever known. Jason Morgan. For years, he has been the unbreakable protector, the silent guardian, the man who never walked away, no matter how dangerous, no matter how painful. But today, everything is different. Because today, Jason Morgan is saying goodbye. And this time, it might be forever. Black Heart Part 1. The Man Who Never Left. Jason Morgan was never the kind of man to show emotion. His strength wasn't loud. It was steady, unshakable, and always there when people needed him most. From the moment his life changed after that tragic accident, Jason became someone new. Someone colder. Someone who didn't let feelings get in the way. But deep inside, Jason always cared more than he ever showed, especially when it came to the people he loved.
Carly, Sonny, Sam,
his children. They were his world. And that's exactly why this goodbye hurts more than anything he's ever faced. It started with a choice. A dangerous one. Jason had been pulled into something bigger than usual, something darker, something that couldn't be fixed with strength alone. Enemies were closing in. Lines were being crossed. And for the first time, Jason realized something terrifying. He couldn't protect everyone anymore. The danger wasn't just around him, it was because of him. Every person he loved was now a target. And Jason Morgan could no longer live with that. The hardest part wasn't leaving the life he built. It was leaving his children. Jason stood quietly, watching from a distance. He didn't step forward. He didn't call out. Because he knew, if he did, he wouldn't be able to walk away. His children deserved a safe life. A normal life. Something Jason could never give them. A single tear rolled down his face. Something almost no one had ever seen before. "I'm doing this for you," he whispered softly. Even if they would never understand. Love had always been complicated for Jason. But it was real. And now he had to let it go. Standing face to face with the woman who once meant everything to him, the silence was louder than any words. "I wish things were different," she said, her voice breaking. Jason looked at her, his eyes filled with something rare, pain. "They can't be," he replied quietly. "No promises. No dramatic goodbye. Just the kind of ending that hurts the most. The kind where love still exists, but can't survive." Before he could leave, Jason had one last thing to do. One last threat to eliminate. One last fight. Because Jason Morgan doesn't walk away unfinished. The confrontation was intense, dangerous, brutal. But this time, it wasn't just about winning. It was about ending everything. When it was over, Jason stood there, breathing heavily, knowing one thing for sure. There was nothing left tying him here anymore. No big announcement. No dramatic farewell. Jason Morgan disappeared the same way he always lived. Quietly. But the impact? It was devastating. Carly felt it first. Something was wrong. Something had changed. Sonny knew too. Jason was gone. And this time it didn't feel temporary. For someone who rarely showed emotion, Jason had reached his limit. Alone. Far away. No one watching. He finally let it all out. The pain. The loss. The loneliness. Everything he had buried for years came crashing down at once. Was it worth it? He asked himself. There was no answer. Only silence. Even in his absence, Jason Morgan's presence remained. In every life he touched. In every person he protected. In every sacrifice he made. He may be gone, but he would never be forgotten. Because Jason wasn't just a man. He was a symbol of loyalty, strength, and sacrifice. That's the question everyone is asking. Is this truly Jason Morgan's final goodbye? Or is this just another chapter in a story that refuses to end? Because if there's one thing we know about Jason, he always finds a way back. Some goodbyes are permanent. Others are just the beginning of something new. But Jason Morgan's goodbye? It feels different. It feels final. And yet, somewhere, deep down, there's still hope. Because legends don't disappear forever. They wait. And when the time is right, they return. In Port Charles, nothing ever truly ends, but some goodbyes feel heavier than the rest. And this one feels like the kind that changes everything. Jason Morgan was never just another man walking through the chaos of this city. He was its backbone in the darkest moments. The one people turned to when there were no more options left. The one who didn't ask questions. He just showed up. And now he's gone. No warning. No final speech. No chance for anyone to stop him. Just silence. The kind of silence that lingers long after someone leaves. Carly stands still, staring at the door as if somehow he'll walk back through it. As if this is all just another one of those moments where Jason disappears only to return when he's needed most. But something feels different this time. There's no call, no sign, no trace. Just a feeling she can't shake. That this goodbye might be real. Sonny, a man who has faced enemies, betrayal, and loss more times than he can count, finds himself unsettled in a way he hasn't felt in years. Because Jason wasn't just an ally. He was family. And family doesn't just disappear. Not like this. Across town, memories begin to surface. Small moments, quiet conversations, the kind of things people don't realize matter until they're all they have left. Jason never asked for recognition. He never needed praise. But his absence? It speaks louder than anything he ever said. Because now, people are realizing just how much he held together. And without him, things begin to fall apart. But far from Port Charles, in a place where no one knows his name, Jason Morgan walks alone. No bodyguards. No connections. No past. Just a man trying to disappear. Yet even here, he can't escape what he's left behind. The memories follow him. The faces. The voices. The life he built. And for the first time in a long time, Jason hesitates. He stops. Just for a moment. As if something inside him is pulling him back. Because leaving wasn't the hard part. Staying away? That's something else entirely. He looks down at his hands. Hands that have fought, protected, and sacrificed more times than anyone could count. Hands that let go of everything. Was this the only way? He murmurs quietly, his voice barely audible. No one answers. Because some choices don't come with reassurance. Some paths don't offer a way back. Or do they? Back in Port Charles, the ripple effect is undeniable. Allies grow uncertain. Enemies grow bold. And the balance that Jason once maintained begins to shift. Danger doesn't wait. It never does. And without Jason there to stand in the middle of it all, the cracks begin to show. Which raises a question no one wants to say out loud. What happens now? Because whether people admitted it or not, Jason Morgan was the line between control and chaos. And that line is gone. Or is it? Because somewhere, deep beneath the silence, there's something else. Something unresolved. Something unfinished. Jason may have walked away. But the story? It doesn't feel over. Not yet. Because legends don't just fade into nothing. They echo. They leave marks. They create consequences. And sometimes, they come back when you least expect it. So, is this truly the end of Jason Morgan? Has he finally closed the chapter on the life that defined him? Or is this just the calm before something bigger, something more dangerous begins? Because if there's one thing Port Charles has learned over the years, it's this. Nothing stays buried forever. And no matter how far Jason runs, no matter how much he tries to leave it all behind, there will always be something calling him back. A person, a promise, a threat, or maybe a reason he hasn't discovered yet. The night grows darker. The city grows quieter. And somewhere in that silence, a story waits to continue. Not ended. Not forgotten. Just paused. So, don't look away. Don't assume it's over. Because in a world like this, goodbyes are rarely permanent. And Jason Morgan? He's never been the kind of man who disappears for good. This isn't just an ending. It's a question. One that hasn't been answered yet. And until it is, the possibility remains. That one day, when everything is on the line, when there's no one else left to turn to, a familiar figure might step out of the shadows once again.
Calm.
Silent. unstoppable. And when that moment comes, everything will change. Again.